Now that we're a couple of months into 2025, it's time to look back at 2024, a year that brought us some incredible gaming experiences, but also some crushing disappointments. Whether it was overhyped marketing, broken launches, or simply failing to meet expectations, these games left players frustrated, let down, or outright angry. Some of these titles were supposed to be the next big thing, only to fall flat due to bugs, lackluster gameplay, or missing features. Others had promising ideas but failed to deliver on their potential. From AAA flops to indie misfires, here are the top 10 most disappointing games of 2024. So, the first disappointing game of 2024 on our list is Foamstars. If you love fast-paced twists on classic game modes like Team Deathmatch, Foamstars might catch your eye. Square Enix's take on multiplayer arena shooters swaps bullets for colourful, sticky foam, giving off strong Splatoon vibes. The mix of shooting and snowboarding on foam sounds exciting, and while the core concept is fun, the game launched with major setbacks. Limited content, just 6 heroes and a few maps, performance issues, and overpriced skins, some costing more than the game, led to heavy backlash. Even after shifting to a free-to-play model, Foamstars struggled to recover. And on number 2, we have Planet Coaster 2. Planet Coaster 2 is next on our list, and we can't help but feel frustrated, not because it's a theme park builder, we love the genre thanks to Roller Coaster Tycoon, but because it had so much potential, yet fell short. As a sequel, we expected fresh innovations, but instead, it feels more like a minor update than a real evolution. Adding pools is a nice touch, but other features, like research mechanics and power generators, feel disappointingly shallow. Worst of all, the user interface is a nightmare. Whether using a mouse or gamepad, navigating menus and building tools is clunky, an unfortunate flaw in a game centered around creativity and construction. And the third disappointing game of 2024 on our list is South Park Snow Day. If our first 2 picks didn't make it clear that we're covering 2024's biggest gaming disappointments, South Park Snow Day certainly will. After 2 well-loved games that nailed sharp storytelling, clever gameplay, and faithfulness to the source material, this third entry throws it all away for a watered-down, uninspired mess. The real-time combat is dull and clunky, offering none of the strategic depth of its predecessors, and the limited weapons and skills only make things worse. Repetitive, mindless brawling replaces engaging missions, but the biggest letdown? It's just not funny. The signature, no-holds-barred satire is missing, leaving even normally outrageous characters like Cartman and Randy feeling oddly tame. This time, they didn't just kill Kenny, they killed the soul of South Park. And the fourth disappointing game of 2024 on our list is Dragon's Dogma 2. We can already hear the comments, Dragon's Dogma 2 is incredible. I've spent hundreds of hours in it. And if you loved it, that's great. But here's the thing. After the original Dragon's Dogma set a high bar, we expected the sequel to refine its strengths, fix its flaws, and push the series forward. Instead, while Dragon's Dogma 2 is bigger in scale, that only highlights its issues. Fast travel is frustratingly restrictive, relying on rare items that Capcom, rather than improving, chose to monetize, sparking well-deserved backlash. Combat starts off strong, but quickly grows repetitive due to a lack of new enemy types, with many simply recycled from the first game. Honestly, if Capcom had called it Dragon's Dogma 1.5, we wouldn't have minded, but as a full-fledged sequel, DD2 is a letdown worthy of this list. And on number 5 we have LEGO Horizon Adventures. With its world of robotic beasts, Horizon seemed like the perfect fit for a LEGO adaptation, so we had high hopes for LEGO Horizon Adventures. Unfortunately, it ended up as one of 2024's biggest gaming flops, missing the key ingredients that make LEGO games special: fun and creativity. The gameplay is disappointingly basic, adding little to the familiar LEGO formula, while repetitive level design alternates between predictable combat and platforming. Worse yet, the campaign is shockingly short, wrapping up in just a few hours. But the biggest disappointment? The game completely misses the opportunity to let players build their own robotic machines out of Lego bricks, something that could have been a game changer. If you're a Lego fan, you'd be better off replaying the Skywalker saga, and if you love Horizon, trust us, revisiting the originals is a far better use of your time. And on number 6, we have X-Defiant. X-Defiant was supposed to be Ubisoft's breakthrough into the competitive world of online shooters. But as you can probably guess from our wording, things didn't go as planned. Marketed as a Call of Duty killer, the game ran into major roadblocks, including a failed console certification in mid-2023 due to technical and quality issues. This setback delayed its release into 2024, costing it momentum and a potential player base. Despite Ubisoft's efforts to turn things around, X-Defiant never fully recovered. As a result, the company announced that the game's servers will shut down in June 2025, an abrupt and disappointing end just a year after launch. And the 7th disappointing game of 2024 is Star Wars Outlaws. Let's be honest, no list of 2024's biggest gaming disappointments would be complete without Star Wars Outlaws, and for good reason. With an iconic IP, Ubisoft's open-world experience, and a roguish protagonist clearly inspired by Han Solo, this game had everything going for it. Yet somehow, it landed squarely in the realm of mediocrity. Outlaws borrows familiar mechanics but fails to excel at any of them. Stealth fans will find its system clunky and inconsistent, while those craving intense combat will be let down by dull, depthless shootouts. Even open-world exploration feels lifeless, with vast yet empty environments. Then there's Nyx, the adorable sidekick who could have been a standout feature but instead serves as little more than a remote control for opening doors. In the end, Outlaws doesn't just disappoint, it misses the mark so badly that even stormtroopers would cringe. And the 8th disappointing game of 2024 is Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Unless you completely tuned out of gaming news in 2024, you've probably heard the controversy surrounding Dragon Age: The Veilguard, mainly claims that it focuses too much on character sexuality. And while that's technically true, it's far from the game's biggest problem. After all, games like Catherine have explored romance in meaningful ways, and Cyberpunk 2077 gave players extreme customization options. So, why does The Veilguard land on this list? Simply put, it stumbles in almost every aspect. Despite the strong legacy of Dragon Age, this installment feels like a mix of uninspired ideas. The combat is overly simplistic and action-heavy, the quests and characters lack depth, and the MMO-like art style strips away the rich, immersive feel the series is known for. Is it possible to have fun with the game? Sure. But for longtime fans, the disappointment is hard to ignore. And on number 9, we have Skull and Bones. At this point, it may seem like we're just listing Ubisoft's biggest flops of 2024, but trust us, that wasn't the plan. Still, there's no way we could leave Skull and Bones off this list. We'll keep it short. Marketed as the first ever quadruple A game, it spent over a decade in development and racked up an eye-watering budget of $650 to $850 million. Yet, when it finally launched, it was riddled with technical issues, repetitive gameplay, and a lack of meaningful progression. The outcome? A rapid player drop-off and one of the biggest letdowns in recent gaming history. And the last disappointing game of 2024 on our list is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Surprised? We don't blame you. The Microsoft Flight Simulator series has long been praised for its realism, breathtaking visuals, and endless replayability. However, these same features have made the game notoriously massive, often requiring hundreds of gigabytes of storage. With Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, Microsoft aimed to fix that by reducing the file size, a move we fully support. The problem? Their solution created more turbulence than smooth flying. Instead of optimizing storage, they moved the game to the cloud. Sounds great in theory, but in reality, not so much. Even with a fast, stable internet connection, players faced agonizing load times, sometimes over 20 minutes, along with slow texture loading, stuttering, and frequent disconnections. Thinking of just downloading it to play offline? Sorry to clip your wings, but that's simply not an option. So, have you played any of these games? Share your experience in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.